Ladies, gentlemen, white knights, black knights, grey Jedi, Sith, and everybody else watching, we are on a roll tonight. And so, this is Voicing V-Scape Resurrections with your host, Madman, and we are about to do, as you may have guessed, the Knight's Sword quest. So let's talk to the squire, and let's get this going. The squire.
Hello, I am the squire to surviving.
You're the squire of not dying. So, how many people do you serve? I guess in this world, not many. Wouldn't you prefer to be a squire for me?
No, sorry, I'm loyal to surviving. If I followed you around, I'd be dead in a few minutes, I think.
Well, that's not very nice.
It's the truth. The truth is rarely nice.
Well, I got to agree with you there. How's life as a squire?
Well, surviving is a good guy to work for. He doesn't abuse his power. He's a pretty good boss, to be honest. However, I'm in a spot of trouble today. I've gone and lost Surviving's sword.
You're a squire and you lost his most important piece of armor, mate.
Look, I'm not going to stand here and make excuses for myself, okay? I fucked up. Everybody fucks up now and then. Are you going to insult me, or are you going to help?
Well, that depends. Is Surviving angry about this? I mean, if I get involved, who knows? You could blame me for losing the bloody sword. I don't even know you, mate.
Look, he doesn't even know it's lost yet. I was hoping I could think of something to do before he does find out, but I find myself at a loss. Not exactly used to losing swords. Usually I'm good at my job.
Well, do you know the vague area you lost it in? Maybe I could just find the original instead of doing what I'm expecting we're going to have to do, which is make a forgery of it.
No, if I knew where I lost it, I wouldn't be admitting this to a random stranger. I was carrying it for him all the way from where he had it stored in Lumbridge. It must have slipped from my pack during the trip. I know what you're thinking. It's a giant sword. How could I have lost it? I was carrying a lot of stuff, okay? That's what squires do. You know what people are like these days. Somebody probably stole it. Someone will just have picked it up and kept it for themselves.
Well, Gillinor's fairly abundant with swords. Can't you just replace it with another one?
Yes, you can get bronze swords anywhere, or even rune ones. This is not any old sword. This thing is a sword passed down in his family. It's an heirloom. It's been passed down through his family for 5 generations. It was originally made by the Imcando Dwarves, who were a particularly skilled tribe of dwarven smiths. I doubt anyone could make it in the style they did.
So, would these dwarves just make another one then?
You'll notice that I said they were, meaning they're not around anymore. I'm not 100% sure they still exist. I should think Reldo, the palace librarian Varrock, will know. He's done a lot of research on the races of Gillinor. I don't suppose you could try and track down the Imcando Dwarves for me. I've got so much work to do here. I'm not just the squire for one night, you know. Surviving's my main guy, but I also service a lot of other dudes here. And don't add some sort of innuendo to that. I know what you questers like to do. You like to make your comedy by inserting sexual innuendos into everything, okay? These are the White Knights. They don't go down for that sort of thing, literally or figuratively.
Okay, Jesus Christ, mate, I'll give it a go.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm just a bit stressed out, as you can imagine. As I said, the best place to start should be with Reldo.
Alright, well, as he said, we are going to run our way to Varrock here. I swear to God we'll have teleports at some point soon. I am actually going to be training my magic soon. I need to do a bit more fletching. I'm going to just probably get to 60 and see how much money that gets me. Probably another like 30 or 40k. Which we're going to blow on mind runes. And then I'm going to do some Slayer tasks. And maybe kill some Troll Generals if we can do Troll Stronghold at some point. But I don't know if I want to do that yet. I guess if I grabbed some rune armor, if I can somehow get enough money to afford that, I could probably do the quest, but my prayer isn't even 43 yet, so we don't even have protect from melee, and again, I don't want to risk the hardcore status. This account is not really something that I use to flex, like, oh, I'm going to risk the hardcore status. I'm going to go into the wild every day for an hour. You know, I'm not going to do that shit. This is a voicing account. The hardcore status is just something fun. I really just want to see how long I can maintain it. So again, we're not going to take unnecessary risks. We're going to be a pussy, and we're going to play it safe. If you don't like watching the series because I'm not taking crazy risks, go watch one of the 5,000 OSRS people who play this game in risky ways. That is not me. I play games very carefully and slowly and autistically because that's usually the way that you win. You're guaranteed to win if you play the game like a pussy. Unfortunately, that's true. It's true of any game in life. It's true of life itself, really. If you play it like a Weasley little worm, you're guaranteed to win more often than if you go out on a limb and be like, oh, I'm gonna take stupid risks and do stupid things. Making this series is enough of a risk. I'm wasting my time. I'm spouting off edgy jokes every 5 minutes. Anyway, that's where the risk is. If you want to know where the real risk is. So we got a ton of blue right ore here. I want to make myself an extra sword. Or two, actually, because I'd like to have a placeholder in my bank. Speaking of placeholders, that reminds me, there's a guy who keeps spamming the VG thread for this game with like this request for quality of life updates, and it's like the list of shit to add was bad enough, and I don't know if it's the same person doing this, but if anyone was wondering if it was me, that person has never been me. I have never posted one of those super spurged out lists to the 4chan thread. I've never done that. That was never me. I almost wish it was, because that's kind of funny. It was kind of funny for a couple of years, but the guy's been doing it for years. So I don't know if he just set up a bot to do it, or if he actually spends the time pasting that into the thread every time it gets made. But someone has not only been posting lists of like, add this quest, then add this quest, add them in this order that I specifically want. But now they've been posting, I'm assuming it's the same person, a list of like, add make X options to this, and add bank placeholders. That's one of the things he was specifying. I don't know who's doing that, straight up. Get help if you're the guy doing that, because it's pathetic. It was funny for like a month. And it's been like 4 years, dude. That's probably what he wants to hear. He just wants attention for it, whoever the fuck it is. It's like,
he mentioned me. He mentioned that I did something stupid. I got attention.
It's pathetic, dude. Stop doing it. Anyway. Okay.
Hello there. What do you know about the Imcando Dwarves? The Imcando Dwarves, you say? Ah, yes. For many hundreds of years, they were the world's most skilled smiths. They used secret smithing knowledge passed down from generation to generation. I mean, pretty much all knowledge is passed down this way, whether it's passed down orally or through books or on stone tablets. But, you know, that's how they did it. They passed it down. Unfortunately, about a century ago, the once thriving race was wiped out during the barbarian invasions of that time. So are there any Imcando left at all? I believe a few of them survived, but with the bulk of their population destroyed, their numbers have dwindled even further. I believe I remember a couple living in Asgarnia near the cliffs, on the Asgarnia southern peninsula, but they do tend to keep to themselves. They tend not to tell people that they're the descendants of the Imcando, which is why people think the tribe has died out totally, but you may well have more luck talking to them if you bring them some Redberry pie. They really like Redberry pie. Like in an American pie sort of way. I don't know what they do with it. They must do more than eat it.
Okay, well, after talking to Mr. Reddit here, we can now, I believe, make our way down to Peninsula here. Okay, good. All right, we're just going to go ahead and... I'm pretty sure it's faster to just teleport to pest control. Yes, definitely is. So I do not want to be running all the way back from Varrock. That would be stupid. I don't know if we should have sound effects on. If it's distracting, somebody just complain to me and I'll shut them off. But I don't know. I like it for the ambience.
It adds to the immersion.
Except that I'm making immersion-breaking retarded jokes every 5 minutes, so I don't know why I'm even I don't know why I'm even caring about immersion. All right, we'll swoosh our way down to... Is it Redlow? Have I been pronouncing that Reldo the whole time and it's not Reldo? That's probably how I've been pronouncing it. I've been mispronouncing it. Let's talk to this motherfucker. I've done this quest really late on this account. I already have 40 smithing. It's going to be sort of a anticlimactic ending because the XP is really not... it's not going to really do much for us. It may get us a level or two. Hello. As if I have to ask, given your stature and all, and the weird colour of your skin, are you an Imcando Dwarf?
I don't talk about that sort of thing anymore. I'm getting old.
I'll come back another time, then. Or, instead of that, I could offer you some Redberry pie.
You see, there goes eyes light up.
I'd never say no to a Redberry pie. They're great stuff.
You hand over the pie. Thurgo eats the pie. Thurgo pats his stomach.
By Guthix, that was good pie. Anyone who makes a pie like that has got to be all right. Even though you could have just bought it from someone. I really don't give a shit. I just love that shit.
Well, since you loved it so much, can you do me a favour? I need you to make me a special sword.
Well, since you brought me the pie and all, and since I already mentioned it's my favourite food, and I'm mentioning it again now, I guess I could give it a go. What sort of sword is it?
I'll need you to make a sword for one of Falador's knights. He had one which was passed down through 5 generations. You know what, the scribe... God damn it, the squire... He never described it to me, actually. Like, I don't have any idea what it looks like. I just know it belonged to a Falador knight and it was passed down. It could be any old sword. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? We'll need an identical one to replace it, so, you know, the fact that I don't have a physical description of it, that might be a challenge for you.
No, not at all. I know all about the Falador knights and their swords. Blue hilts, silver blade, kind of flat and leaf-shaped. Kind of like a leaf-bladed sword. In fact, the sprite for this sword would have made a much better leaf-bladed sword, which doesn't even exist in this version of the game. Perhaps that Spurg-like poster on VG should add that to his quality of life list, huh? Leaf-bladed sword, but with the sprite of the blue-right sword. Or just turn the blue-right sword into a leaf-bladed sword. Wouldn't that be fun? Well, as we all know, accuracy is more important than fun, so that will never happen. Well, unfortunately, despite the fact that I know what you're talking about, I would need an exact description of how it looked before I could make one. I'm not a magician or a genius. I'm just a Winston Churchill look-alike. You know, it was actually me who read the "We will fight them on the beaches" speech. Churchill himself was far too drunk on cognac. He couldn't even stand up, the poor bastard. You know, interesting fact about him, he got into a whole bunch of debt, and so he was charged by the people who offered to pay it that he would make the war...
Let's not talk about that, mate. I really don't need to be on any more lists. People can look that up for themselves, who Churchill's financiers were, and his involvement in the war. Oh, shit, I shouldn't have even said that.
Well, anyway, all the Faladian knights, they used to have swords with unique designs, according to their position. Could you bring me a picture of it, perhaps? Something like that.
All right, I'll go and ask the squire if he's got a picture I can see.
All right, and now we got to walk all the way back up to Falador, and then all the way back down here. I hope you've got some popcorn and a beer, because this is going to take a few more minutes, guys. I always, I keep... My estimations for how much time these quests are going to take are, always wildly off. Like, if I think they're going to take 40 minutes, they take 8. And if I think they're going to take 8 minutes, they take 40. It never fails. I don't know, I need to readjust my expectations for these quests, just based on, how long I have to spend walking. That won't happen once I've got the magic levels that I'm going to be getting soon. I swear we will not be doing so much walking. It will be much, much, much easier. The other problem, too, is the money that I have to spend for upgrading my armor, and I want to get a pickaxe. I want to buy all these things. It's too much like real life. It's like, oh, I want to buy X, Y, and Z, and I have like no money. You know, I mean, that's everybody right now, but it's too real. I don't even want to think about it. So I end up procrastinating. I end up putting things off, like buying runes, because it just reminds me too much of real life. This game is supposed to be an escapist waste of time. It's not supposed to remind me about things that I have less control over than what voice I give to an NPC in a 20-year-old game. Anyway, straight up, thank you guys for watching these. Any support is really appreciated. I do mean that unironically. You know, went through some crazy shit in my life recently, and it doesn't seem to be getting any less crazy, but I seem to be adapting to the insanity, so that's, you know, it's the best I can hope for, really. It's the best any of us can hope for is just adapt to the insanity, because shit is not going to get less insane. Next 7 years is going to be some wild shit if information floating around has if even 10% of it is 10% accurate, we're going to be in for some craziness. Yeah, it's like Clown World isn't even sufficient anymore. Like, that meme died, I think, because people realized it got too real, and then it wasn't funny, and then the world just kind of blazed past it. And it's like, now nobody has any metaphors or any memes that can really live up to it. That's why memes are getting really dark and insane, because people are just, I think, losing their fucking minds. So do whatever you can to keep your head. It's like I said in one of my old rant videos, just play Magic the Gathering, just distract yourself. I never would have thought I would suggest this to people, but don't get mired in geopolitics or any of that crap. Like for real, just distract yourself and try to accumulate wealth. Just do that. Don't get fucking distracted by shit that depresses you. Just don't do it. It's not worth it, for real. Anyway, let's get back to distracting ourselves, shall we?
So, how are you doing getting a sword?
Well, I found an Imcando Dwarf. That was kind of a big step. But he needs a picture of the sword before he can make one.
A picture, eh? The only one I can think of is in a small portrait of Surviving's father. Surviving keeps it in a cupboard in his room, I think.
Okay, I'll try and go steal that for you then. You couldn't just get it yourself. Don't you have better access to his rooms than I would?
Please don't let him catch you, and no, I can't go get it. I'm not just working for one guy. If I disappear and rummage through his stuff, he's going to notice. You have a higher thieving level than me anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem for you. Whatever the case, he mustn't know what happened.
Okay, well, I think the picture is up here. Straight up, I hate how the stairs work in this castle. For some reason, I somehow always just get lost. Like, I always end up in the wrong place. It's like you have to go up these stairs. I'm pretty sure that's where I always mess up, is I go up the tower instead. I'm probably wrong. Okay, it's not in here, is it? It's gonna be me taking 500 years to find this stupid thing. Let's see if we can ask him. Hello.
Greetings, traveler.
Why are there so many knights? That is the dumbest question. Oh, let's see if it's in the cupboard here. Ah, perfect. You find a small portrait in which you take. In here, which you take. Oh, that's what happens when you try to record more than 2 videos in one night. You just get burnt out. I'm flagging, guys. I can't read the dialogue. Help me. Okay. So now we got to take this back to Reldo. I'm just going to fucking teleport there. I'm going to go to the bank and just grab another games necklace. It's the one saving grace about having low magic is at least it doesn't take a very high level to get level 1 enchant. And I don't have access to dueling wings, but at least we have games necklaces, which has been a huge upgrade. That has been like it's been like a big relief. It's been like, holy shit, I can go to the western side of the map without fucking around with taking ships everywhere. Okay. Games necklace, where did I put you? Marvel as I search for an item in my bank. Content. don't know why I'm self-deprecating. I was watching Limpwort kill the Calphite Queen earlier, and it's like, that's not that much more interesting than this. It's just repeating the same shit a million times. That's what Sam was saying in one of his recent videos. He's like, our fans, they like it when we repeat things because they're all autistic. And I was like, well, dude, I'm not even going to disagree with you. Like, probably most of your fans are autistic. I know I am. I don't know if the diagnosis would help me. It would probably help me in the short term and hurt me in the long term if I had to guess. I was actually offered a diagnosis, not of autism or anything like that, but ADHD. I was thinking I might have it. I know, shocking, right? I might have that. But it's one of those things where you can treat it. It's one of those diagnoses that whether or not it's legitimate that it applies to you, you can treat the symptoms yourself. You really don't need necessarily pharmaceutical intervention for it. I had a lot of friends in high school who were on uppers like Ritalin or whatever, or Vyvanse, and basically they just used them to study for tests, and they sold them to other students. Like it was just a drug market. I mean, that's all it really is you know, your doctor becomes your dealer. It's a great Robin Williams bit about that from way back. He talks about like his doctor offering him like heart meds, and it's like, yo, Robin, Lipitor, try it out. It's great. Hello, again. About that sword I asked you about.
Have you got a picture of the sword for me yet?
I have found a picture of the sword I would like you to make. You give the portrait to Thurgo. Thurgo studies the portrait.
Okay, you'll need to get me some stuff in order for me to make this. I need 2 iron bars to make the sword, to start with. I'll also need an ore called bluerite. It's useless for making actual weapons, except you can make crossbows and bolts out of it. But I need some as decoration for the hilt. It's a fairly rare ore. The only place I know where to get it is under the cliffs here. Most of the rocks in that cliff are pretty useless and don't contain much of anything, but there's definitely some bluerite in there.
Okay, I'll go and already find them then. They're here in my inventory.
It's rather good of you to plan ahead like that and save your viewers some nonsensical running around.
Yes, well, we've done enough of that on this quest and all the others. Can you make that replacement sword now?
How are you doing finding the materials? You didn't go anywhere.
As I said, I've got them right here.
Ah, yes, sorry, I misheard you. I'm quite drunk at the moment.
You give the bluerite ore and 2 iron bars to Churchill. Churchill starts to make the sword. Churchill hands you the sword. Thank you very much.
Just remember to call in with more pie sometime.
Oops, I dropped the sword right in front of you. Can you make that replacement sword again?
You just dropped the one I gave you right in front of me. Are you really such a pussy you can't just ask for a spare one for your collection? Clearly that's what you want.
Well, yes, but that's not how this works.
All right, then. Do you want me to make you another?
Yes, in fact, I do.
Right, here we go again.
Thank you.
You don't want a 4th one or a 10th one? Good Lord, lad. Just ask me up front next time. Well, see you around.
I'll probably never talk to you again, because I'm never getting the smithing cape, so, have a good one, mate.
Yes, we will fight them on the beaches.
Okay, we're going to equip one of the swords here for the lols. We're going to go back and finish this bloody quest. I might actually do some more recording tonight. I mean, I'm a little bit fried, but damn, I'm really feeling it. I want to do a whole bunch of quests because I have some work I have to do this week before the week is out, and I'm kind of trying to rush through some shit for fun before I have to dive into that. So I'll probably upload like 5 or 6 episodes and then upload nothing for like a week. So watch while you can. Oh, you can hear the bubbling cauldron.
Let's examine it for fun.
I wonder what she's making. I mean, it's red, so I'm guessing it's just more blood potion evil shit. I didn't take her for an evil witch, but you know, it's always the nice-looking ones that end up evil, and the evil-looking ones that end up nice. Oh, it's Shitpost Bot. There he is. Let's see if we can actually see him say shitpost. The camera angle's not going to let us see it, is it? No. Well, let's get this done. I fucking love the bluerite sword, man. It's like one of the most aesthetic, looking weapons in the entire game, and it's a fucking steel longsword. I love this weapon. I used to do this quest really early on new accounts just so that I could get the sword when I was still like really low combat, and I would just kill chickens with it as an excuse to just use it because it's so fucking cool looking, man. I think it's probably my favorite looking sword in the game. It's a shame they wasted this this sprite on such a fucking inconsequential weapon. I remember when I used to play Realscape, I used to get the offhand version of this too, and I would use them as cosmetics. Like I'd have like dry gores or whatever, but then I would use the blue right swords as cosmetic overrides because they just look so fucking slick, man. Like this is the best looking sword in the game, I think. I would if there were cosmetic overrides in this game, god damn. Quality of life Spurg, add that to your list. Blue right sword cosmetic override. Fucking I will support that. I will forgive you for your spam if you add that to your stupid list. I don't give a shit about any of the other stuff you've added. I just straight up don't care. I don't care about bank placeholders. I care about this, okay? Fashion is the fucking end game. All right.
Okay, I've retrieved your sword for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was seriously worried I would have to own up to surviving.
You give the sword to the squire. Congratulations, you've completed the nice sword quest. You are awarded 1 quest point, 12,725 smithing XP, 36 quest points. Boom, 43 smithing. Very nice. Very, very good. We are... Is it 49 for the bullseye lantern? I would love to do Tears of Gothics, man. I would love to get some tears in my belly.
Some liberal tears, am I right, fellow extremists?
All right. So in the Palace of the Reddit Knights, we are going to say goodbye once again. And again, straight up, don't pay too much attention to what's going on in the world. It's just to distract you. All this bullshit is mostly bullshit. So keep it cool, have fun, and watch my videos. Peace out, my friends.